Only on ABC 15, we're breaking the news of a major arrest you'll want to know about.
Yeah, this is a man accused of targeting and terrorizing Valley women, finally behind bars. And once Phoenix police arrested him, they learned just how many victims and how many unsolved rapes he may be connected to. Here's ABC 15's Nicole Valdez.
355 days, 7 women, and 1 serial rapist.
Just when we think it's predictable, it becomes unpredictable.
Each story more like the last. One by one, over the last year, each victim forced on their backs and held against their will. It started in October of last year. The first woman telling police she was approached by a man on 27th Ave in Glendale. Then took her to an abandoned home, forced her into a shed, and held a knife against her neck as he raped her. It happened 6 more times. In May of this year, then again in August, then 4 times in September. Some victims raped for hours on end. But even armed with every gruesome detail, police still didn't have enough to ID the man behind the attacks. They became pended, according to Phoenix police.
They can't be worked anymore unless something new comes in.
It had to have happened around here.
Veronica Navarrete remembers detectives knocking on her door after one of the assaults last month. It happened just behind her house.
I was in shock, very afraid. I called my husband and I said, it's scary around here.
Police still didn't have a name for their suspect, but they did have a pattern.
Detectives noticed some similarities in between some cases.
You could call this suspect a creature of habit. According to court documents, he preyed on each of his victims along the same street, took them all to similar locations, and the threats he made were almost identical. But it was the last few attacks that gave police the break in their case. 2 women were able to ascribe their assailant in detail, including the car he was driving.
It's a feeling of satisfaction taking a criminal like this off the street.
35-year-old Isaias Jimenez Perez, finally cuffed, but once behind bars, his DNA matched at least 2 other attacks, while the remaining 3 victims ID'd their accused rapist after police finally had his name and a photo. Maricopa County Attorney's Office now charging Jimenez Perez with 19 counts related to sexual assault and kidnapping for each one of these alleged victims. Now, police say they are still testing more rape kits, so there could still be more victims in this case. In Phoenix tonight, Nicole Valdez, ABC 15, Arizona.